Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology. It has been a long time with COVID and work and an internet outage, but we are back now, ladies and gentlemen. And I am feeling, well, not quite better than ever, but certainly better than a couple weeks ago. So, Panama. That might be... Oh, no can do. Let's see what else we got. So today's episode is going to be covering another old British aircraft, the British Aerospace Corporation's Strikemaster. And that's all of them. We'll do Panama. It's close enough to a proper setting here, I think. And let's see, hostile forces will be... let's see what we got here. Trying to think. So, I want you set up... I don't even know if they're going to be in the game, because the game does have more factions than you would think, but not all of them. Colombian. I really wish you could pick these from a drop down. But yeah, okay, so they don't have them. Let's see who else. You know what we can do is should be in here. There we go. We will set up, and I have no idea if they were actually in service at the time of the Iraq War, but basically we're going to set this up as just a mission where some BAC Strikemasters in the service of Kuwait are attacking, you know, just like an Iraqi truck convoy or something. Where we got airfield, power station. Troops withdrawing from Kuwait. There we go. They'll be undefended. We'll say Allied Seed has done a good job on them. And likewise, we won't give them any air escort, because these aren't really meant as fighters per se. 2,000 pounds of fuel. Can we up? We can go to a 250 gallon. But we'll stick with the... Let's see, rockets are bullshit in this game, unfortunately. So we could put some a cluster bomb, which should probably go on the center line. No, it doesn't fit. There we go. Okay, that doesn't get us more. Can we get like a... There we go. That's kind of want to maximize our weapons load here. And then we can't put that there, but we can put this guy there on the center line. So like, this is 3 cluster bombs of varying sizes and 2 500-pound bombs. And fuel's a little light, so I think what we're gonna do is we'll go with a single 150-gallon tank. I would love to, but then we wouldn't even be able to get off the ground. Oh, we could do that too. So our cannon's going to be a little light, but I think that'll do us, so let's get in. Alright. Let's set our radar on.
Attack tank, your 12 o'clock slow. Attack tank,
Oh,
your 12 o'clock
come on.
slow. Attack tank, your 12 o'clock slow. Attack tank.
There we go.
12 o'clock slow. Attack tank.
Alright, so they, it seems they've, got a bit newer stuff than they should. what with the T90 and all. But they're also pretty stationary, all things considered. We won't have the benefit of a lot of avionics here. So let's probably hit them right off the bat with cluster munitions here. Ooh, it looks like our wingmen have some good hits already. Oh! He got fucking jacked by that tank. Alright, we're exceeding max speed. Okay, we took a little blast back from our bomb, I think, but overall we're doing pretty well so far. Let's see about dropping a bomb right on this T90 here. Because the tanks, ironically enough, are easily the biggest threat to us. Like it's a game of Battlefield or something. Okay, break. There we go. There goes one tank. And we should be a little more maneuverable now that we've dropped pretty much all of our bombs at this point. I did not realize how many hostiles there were going to be. If I did, I would have gave us a full wing of 5.
Attack tank, your 5 o'clock flow.
Alright, that didn't do much. I hope our wingman's going to attack this tank for us. Because I do not have the munitions for it. Let's see. They aren't making us attack the BMPs here. But we do have to hit the tanks. At the very least, I can start taking out the trucks here. That is something I can do. He better not be in formation with me. He better be attacking. There we go. Looks like he might have done an attack run.
Attack tank, your 4 o'clock. Attack tank, your 5 o'clock flow. Attack tank, your 5 o'clock flow.
Nope, he's just in formation with us, so let's refill our ammo.
Attack tank, your 5 o'clock flow. Attack tank, your 3 o'clock flow. Attack tank.
Okay, we'll have him attack trucks at the very least. He should be able to, his AI should be able to handle that. And yeah, there he goes. So he can handle that. Alright, now let's get this guy. Oh, my cluster bombs are not nearly as effective as I would like them to be against unarmored trucks, but oh well. Oh, that missed. Oh, man. I am just having terrible luck with bombs today. Normally, they're pretty good at landing where the CCIP says they will. especially here where it's, you know, giving me... There we go. Alright, and we didn't even get blast back by some miracle. Now this... Oh, that's a line of tanks there. In fact, I think that must be where our last wingman was shot down. So it's... And seeing that, it's no wonder he got shot down. Because that basically gave them 3 chances to one-hit kill him. You know? There we go. Cluster bomb away. This should be moderately effective at knocking them out. There we go. 3 T-90s with 1 go. And we got a T-80 there. If this is the last one, it's not. I need one more. Again, I would have, instead of doing this, I would have taken 5, you know, a full wing of 5 guys, but then again, you know, these guys aren't exactly, my current wingman's not exactly in a rush to knock these guys out. Oh, are you kidding me? I think because I directly hit him, he absorbed like all of the cluster bomb. Because I didn't hear or see any secondaries there. But we'll come around and hit him again with the 500-pounders. There we go. Hopefully those should land close enough to finish them off. Got one of them. Come on here. There we go. And he's pretty heavily damaged, so at this point I feel confident in going guns on him. I think I just saw him fire, so hopefully he shouldn't be able to fire again for another couple seconds. There we go. That's what I'm... Oh, that was the last one, seriously. I suppose theoretically I could have... Okay, so we didn't have to blow up the whole convoy. Which is not what I expected. I don't know. Maybe. I think they mostly wanted us to focus on tanks and a handful of trucks. But we'll leave them a few parting gifts anyways. Since we're kind of doing this as like a one-man squad. Since Mr. Wingman isn't doing anything. Okay, I'll have a few of those. I think that empties us out. And I don't think... Yeah, we still have our external field tanks, even though we've been near 100% throttle this whole time. Which is pretty impressive, all things considered. I was going to say that should at least knock out the truck. Those Rockeye or Rockwell bombs, I forget which it was, they don't seem to have a big radius. I suppose they got some damage, but we're just gonna bug out here. Where's the closest friendly air base? Due south. So we will change our heading to course 180. And we shall see how this guy does in the landing. Now that we've seen some of the light attack capability that the BAC Strikemaster has to offer, let's hear some of its history. The BAC-167 Strikemaster is a British jet-powered training and light attack aircraft. It was a development of the Hunting Jet Provost trainer, itself a jet engine version of the Percival Provost, which originally flew in 1950 with a radial piston engine. BAC-167 Strikemaster is essentially an armed version of the Jet Provost T Mark V. Strikemaster was modified with an upgraded engine, wing hardpoints capable of carrying 4 500-pound Mark 82 bombs, 2 machine guns under the intakes, upgraded flap system with 2 jacks, larger air brake jacks, new communication and navigation gear, different electrical system, canopy breakers on the ejection seats, and a revised fuel system including tip tanks on the wingtips. First flown in 1967, the aircraft was marketed as a light attack or counterinsurgency aircraft, but most large-scale purchasers were air forces wanting an advanced trader, although Ecuador, Oman, and Yemen have used their aircraft in combat. A total of 146 were built. Okay, so Kuwait did not use these in combat, which I kind of figured they did, because I don't ever remember hearing about these jets before, but you never know. Operational history. The Strikemaster was capable of operating from rough airstrips with dual ejection seats suitable even for low-altitude escape, and was therefore widely used by third-world nations. Operations by the type were restricted by most military users after the Royal New Zealand Air Force found fatigue cracking in the wings of its aircraft. Many aircraft retired by Botswana, New Zealand, Saudi Arabia, and Singapore are in museums and private collections. Strikemaster was deployed by the Royal Air Force of Oman on several occasions during the Dhofar Rebellion, including a notable appearance providing close air support during the Battle of Mirbat. 3 Strikemasters were shot down over the course of the war, including one lost to an SA-7 missile. The Ecuadorian Air Force deployed the Strikemaster during the brief 1995 Sinapa War, flying ground sorties against Peruvian positions. An Ecuadorian Strikemaster crashed during a training mission in the northern border area near Colombia on the 25th of March 2009. Both pilots ejected, and one later died of injuries received during the rescue attempt. There were several variants of the British Aerospace Corporation Strikemaster, which you'll see in game is referred to as the BAC Strikemaster, because again, BAC basically British. I think just British Aerospace Engineering. They basically bought out all of the British, like all the British companies that did aircraft. They bought them all out, pretty much. So, but there's a bunch of variants for the Strikemaster. Most were just minor changes to suit a specific export customer. So we have the Strikemaster Mark 80 export version for Saudi Arabia. 25 aircraft. Strikemaster Mark 80A, 20 aircraft were sold to Saudi Arabia as part of a follow-up order. Strikemaster Mark 81 export version for South Yemen, 4 aircraft. The Mark 82 export version for Oman, 12 aircraft. Mark 82A, 12 more aircraft that were sold as part of a follow-up order. And now I'm going to stop reading so I can land the aircraft safely here, or semi-safely at least. I will say handling on this, even with just the one tank of fuel and the gun pods, is pretty sluggish, which, judging from what I'm reading, I mean, obviously the M61 is used as a stand-in for a lot of cannons. I think these would be probably 30 or 50 caliber machine guns that they would operate in real life. And we were able to fit one extra bomb and technically 2 fuel tanks as well.
Clear to land.
Obviously, we have yet to see if that's due to like an advanced variant, or if it's a concession the game made to make this semi-usable in terms of the game. Oh, we do have countermeasures. That's interesting. I didn't expect an aircraft this old to have a countermeasures suite, even a basic one. So that it has chaff and flare modeled in the game is interesting. The Mark 83 was an export version for Kuwait with 12 aircraft. The Mark 84 was an export version for Singapore with 16 aircraft. Mark 87 export version for Kenya, 6 aircraft. Mark 88 export version for New Zealand, 16 aircraft. And now I gotta focus on landing because we are coming down way too fast. And there we go. Nice and gentle there. Strikemaster Mark 89 export version for Ecuador, 22 aircraft. Mark 89A, a number of aircraft that were sold to Ecuador as part of a follow-up order. And the Mark 90, which was an export version for Sudan. The last Strikemaster was delivered to Sudan in 1984. Still a decent production run. Small, as you'll notice most of the orders were for around a half dozen to a dozen aircraft. But not bad for this little guy. So the 80 series had 136 aircraft, and the 90 series had 10 aircraft. Alright, so we'll, do I want to cut across? And the fact that I can just rotate him in a tight circle like that is kind of amusing to me. I don't think you could do that with any aircraft on a runway. But, I don't know. The dimensions of airports in these and runways in this game is so weird. I think they're possibly a bit wider than a normal runway would be, but then so much shorter as well. So like all the large aircraft end up rolling off the runways. As far as operators go, Botswana operated them, as well as some ex-Kenyan ones that they later sold to Ivory Coast. Ecuador had them, as mentioned. Ivory Coast purchased some from Botswana. Kenya operated them. Kuwait operated them. New Zealand operated them. Oman operated them. Saudi Arabia operated them. Singapore, South Yemen, and Sudan also all operated them as well. Actually, I'm gonna... There we go. I had to turn off the rudder, unfortunately, for the game, because for whatever reason, it just doesn't like the, Am I still... Oh, I am not... Sorry, I'm on a road, not the runway. There we go. For whatever reason, the game just doesn't like my twist axis anymore, and just... It's constantly off-center, and it's really annoying. I had to turn off the rudder. It works perfectly in other games. I was playing a little bit of X3 Albion Prelude while I was sick. When I had the energy to actually be up and in a chair. And my rudder worked fine there. And I even, did a system diagnostic, calibration, all that, checked the values there, and it was fine in the system. So, for a reason, the game just decided it didn't like it all of a sudden, which I'm okay with that. I mean, if it had happened when I was doing the campaigns, I definitely would have taken a huge issue with it, because it can give you a lot of extra precision when you're lining up for an attack, but for just these quick missions, I'll live, Anyway, specifications for the Strikemaster: had a crew of 2, an empty weight of 6,195 pounds, a gross weight of 9,303 pounds in the pilot training mode, and a max takeoff weight of 11,500 pounds. Fuel capacity is 366 Imperial gallons, including the tip tanks that you can see here and here. And the power plant is one Rolls-Royce Viper Mark 535 turbojet with 3,140 pound-foot of force. Maximum speed is 481 miles per hour with a stall speed of 98 miles per hour, and a never exceed speed of 518 miles per hour. Range is 3,182 miles with a combat range of 145 miles, and a combat radius with 3,000 pounds in a low profile. So, pretty short-ranged aircraft, all things considered. And we saw that too. I mean, in-game it was 2,000 pounds of fuel, give or take, default, plus the 250-gallon tanks. Just trying to... Yeah, they don't give fuel in pounds here, but about 1,660 liters, and I think a liter is more close to a pound. Might be putting my foot in my mouth there, but yep, and as I thought, gun armament consists... There we go. I thought I was going to run into that hangar for a second. Gun armament consists of 2 7.62mm machine guns with 550 rounds each for a total of 1,100, which is pretty... I think that's what they had. Maybe 1,200 in-game, but obviously the 20mm is going to be a lot more powerful than a 7.62. And there are 2 hardpoints on each wing with a capacity of 3,000 pounds of bombs, machine gun pods, air-to-ground rocket pods, field drop tanks, and napalm tanks. So they gave us more hard points to work with than we should have gotten, but that's okay. And we can see our wingman has landed, I do believe. And, oh, hey, look, it's a little stinger boy. Alright, and we see our guy is trying to take off now because he's stupid. So I think we're going to go ahead and end things here. Alright, so I had to cheat out a little bit because I didn't bring enough guys for the mission, but destroyed all 8 targets. We took a lot of damage, 52%. I think a lot of that was just from, I was doing some very low bombing there. So some of it might have been machine gun fire from like the BTRs and stuff, but some of it was definitely splashback from my own bombs, which can kill you in this game. Generally not so much with the 500 pounders, but the 2,000 pounders definitely. They will, if you've dropped those while flying too low, they will blow your aircraft up. So 11 tanks, 10 vehicles. Wingman had 1 and 1 because for a reason he was bugged out and wouldn't attack them, even though they had plenty of. I mean, I guess the game must not recognize the cluster bombs. I could see not being recognized as anti-tank coordinates, but the 500 pounders at least they should have been able to. Because I mean, we've seen aircraft or wingmen use those before in attacking armored vehicles. I'm pretty sure. That was a little weird. 40% gun hit. Bomb 93% hit. Wingman had 100% hit. Enemy hit percentage. Okay, so the enemy never hit me. So that was all splashback from bombs then on me. So, yeah. I think the only hit they scored was when that tank shot down our other wingman right at the start of the mission. So, that about does it. Stick with us next time as we continue through the General Aircraft Showcase. But until then, thank you all for watching and stay tuned for next time. And stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.